since it's just us.
Does Top still do his? Oh, sorry. Does the first sergeant still do his additional mount class?
Yes, that's after you graduate. And you gotta sign up for it and all that good stuff. I still have yet to take it, but
It's really good.
yes.
Very
Alright,
much.
so you got a piece of paper, pen, pencil handy?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Alright, so this green piece of shit on my right, your left, is a BTR. Right here. BTR. If you can't remember the designation for it, just think big tires. BTR, big tires. BTR, armored, obviously. Most variants come with reactive armor. Very crude but effective. As you can see, the wooden containers on the side are actually explosives to counteract the shape charge of our AT warheads. This here can be effectively engaged with multiple weapon systems. Now, just like your M4, you want to engage the highest threat possible, obviously, that you can engage with your M4. You want to engage this threat, but you want to use the lowest weapon system possible, lowest explosive capacity, lowest damage capacity, I guess you would say. Um, and what I mean by that is, in a rifle squad, you have HEDP rounds for your 40 mics, which is high explosive dual purpose. You have the M72 Law, and you have the AT4. Now you got to think, what is the weapon system I can use to effectively take out this target, but also give me a chance to engage a possible greater threat later on in the operation? So, yes, any three of those weapon systems can take out a BTR, but if you can take it out with a M72 Law or like 4 or 5 HEDP shots, I would rather do that than waste an AT4 on this piece of armor. Because chances are you hit this with AT4 and something bigger like a BMP pops up, and well, M72 Law is not always guaranteed to disable it, and HEDP rounds will not do anything to a BMP. So you want to make sure you use the right weapon system at that time. Make sense?
Perfectly.
Excellent. Another weapon system that you can use to engage this, but it's a weapons squad.
240
Weapon
Bravo.
platform. Yep, 240 Bravo with some AP rounds. You place some in some selective spots, and you will kill the driver and gunner and crew. So, yep. But most of the time, they're usually already engaged by a rifle squad before that is like a last ditch effort to have them pump 7.62 into it. Don't ever shoot it in the tires. You'll pretty much take a entire belt of 249 to take out one tire, so that's just a fucking waste of ammo. Like I said, you got options: 40 mics, M72, and AT4. Just make sure you use the correct one.
HEDP,
Obviously,
aim for the tires.
just aim for the body itself.
Oh,
Don't try to get all fucking crafty on it. If you're that precise with the weapon system at some time, then go for it. But you want to just find the biggest, meatiest part of the Vic and, aim for that. So, yep. Don't try to take its tires out. Just fucking body shots and all that good shit. This is going to go for every ground Vic that we encounter with the enemy. Every Vic, if you personally do not have a means to take out that Vic, stay the fuck down. If you're not called upon to take out the Vic, stay out of its visual range. Don't fucking stand up looking and seeing what's going on. All you're going to do is draw its attention to you, which chances are is drawing attention to the rest of your fucking squad. And it starts shooting. Don't be surprised when a couple people go down because you had to be dozy. Alright, moving on. Alright, so this is a BTR, but this is an A variant. This has a autocannon. So it's pumping out 30 millimeter shells. Don't fuck with this one. If this BTR rolled up and that one that we just went over rolled up, this here takes high priority in engagement. Yes, they both are dangerous, but this one is like a trifecta of dangerous. Not only can it destroy soft targets, us, it can also engage and eliminate our fucking ground Vics if we happen to be in a convoy. And it happens to be able to engage air targets. So, the trifecta of just fucking mean. So you see autocannon, call it up. Don't just say BTR. Call it a BTR Alpha. Let them know that this is an Alpha, this is the autocannon. This is definitely one you want to stay down. Fucking rounds are explosive. Hiding behind our giant rock might work for any other Vic that does not have an autocannon. But this, the autocannon, they can actually miss on purpose and shoot over, left, and behind your cover and actually fucking put you down because of the shells. So, keep that in mind. If you see it, and it sees you, and it starts shooting at you, don't think because you're behind hard cover you're safe. Fucking start moving, disperse, get out that area. Alright. Alright, this is a BRDM. This is a scout vehicle. It's still dangerous as it's armored, so your grenadier and your AT are the only two people that can engage this. So, a lonely AR and team lead can't do jack shit to this. So, 4 out of 8 guys in your rifle squad can't do shit to this, even though it is a scout vehicle. Don't go for the tires, waste of ammo. Put some 40 Mike HEDPs on it, M72, and if all fails, an AT4. So this is a BRDM. It does not come with an autocannon. It just comes with a 7.62. Alright, we'll move it over to this. Alright, these are BMPs. Now this is what you would save the AT4 for. Use the M72 law and HEDP is on the shit that I showed you, those last 3 armor pieces. If this rolled up, this guarantee AT4 shot. Now you have. Can I help you recruit Walker?
Oh, sorry, I hopped into the wrong one. My bad.
All right. So on this, go straight for the AT4. Yes, certain angles are nice to get. Top down, where it's thin, get it in the ass and the engine. But getting a good, clean shot on it is priority 1. You don't have the time. Most of the time, it's going to pin you and your guys down. You just need get a good, clean shot on it. If it doesn't go catastrophic, it's fucking, roll the dice. But at least you got a good hit on it. It might actually disable the main gun. It might be still active, but it can't fucking accurately engage you because the gun is down. So don't try to go for some fancy shot in a particular place and happen to fucking miss. At least you hit it. So this is a BMP. Got a large caliber main gun. Obviously, it has 7.62 secondary gun for shells, and it has a fucking rocket on top for AT purposes. They actually shoot at us with this, so you can even say fucking HE also, depending on the round. Yeah, don't fuck with it. If you can't take it out, just stay down, focus on something else. So this is a BMP. Next version over here is a BMP, but this is a BMP Alpha. So this one has the autocannon on it. So they switched out a heavy caliber main gun or a large millimeter diameter shell for the autocannon. So this is a little bit more of a devastating weapon because now it's a little bit heavier armored. You don't have those options anymore. Pretty much an AT4 is what you need to kill this. I'm not saying if you don't have an AT4, you got an M72 left not to shoot it. That's fucking retarded. If you have a law left, take the shot. Fuck. Give yourself a fighting chance. But, this is something that definitely would require an AT4 in my opinion to effectively put it down. Now, since autocannon, this is high priority. Now, you see a BMP normal, you see this BMP, you see a regular BTR, this is going to take the, primary target. So, remember, just call up, BTR or BMP Alpha. Don't forget the Alpha part. You actually can tell that there's a piece of armor in the AO with the autocannon by the rounds impacting and the gun going off. It's very fucking distinct. So, just be wary about that.
And this one also being more dangerous to air assets because of the tow missile on the top.
Well, tow is technically for ground anti-armor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if they get a good rocket off or missile off on a stationary, Apache or some shit, that could be catastrophic, and that'll just totally foobar the mission. because a squad of 2 was going to have to break contact and go rescue down pilots. So, yeah. Just because it's made for a certain, purpose doesn't mean it can't be, rigged some else, another way. Think of it as, like, the smart Taliban, they fucking use Russian-made RPGs, and those have a detonation after a certain range. Well, they get within that range where it just on the cusp of it detonating, so when they shoot it, it's like a fucking airburst munition. So, it's always not what something seems, Alright, this is ZSU 23. This is fucking against our fucking AA. Or this is AA. This will keep our air assets out of the AO. I debate this compared to an autocannon. Being more important to take out of the AO. I personally think the autocannon variant, even as autocannon, but this is light armor. I personally think a BTR or BMP Alpha is way more dangerous to us on the ground than this. We've already accomplished missions without any air assets. It's hard, but it's doable. So, personally, if I seen fucking Alpha or this, I would go for the Alpha first. Because if the Alpha engages us and kills and puts everybody down, then who the fuck's left to take out this AA threat? So, you gotta take out the biggest threat to us, the soft targets, first, and deal with the AA. So this is Ashoka. You're gonna see another variant of this with a rotating radar dome on top with rocket pods or missile pods. That is a Tunguska. So this is Ashoka, and the one with the missile pods is a fucking Tunguska. Does it have to be reloaded? Puts all the rounds in one fucking container, so it just blasts like something stupid like 2,000, 3,000 rounds just continuously. Yeah. So, definitely call this up if you see this, because it is dangerous to our air assets. Alright, moving on. Like I said, this is a thinner skin, so it tends to go up a little bit easier. Alright, so this here is a special kind of fucking evil. This is a BMP-3. I call it the spawn of Satan because it has not also a large millimeter main gun, but it has a fucking autocannon. If you look on the left side of the barrel, our left, you can see a nice little... Oh wait, this ain't the BMP-3, what the fuck?
I think someone switched it out.
Somebody switched it out. Hold on. I want to show you that piece of shit real quick.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
I don't know why they got this in a place. 1 second. My apologies. Somebody was touching this and it's a habit because I've been doing it for so long. And I cannot delete it. I have insufficient resources, so I cannot delete this. So that's bullshit. Give me a second. Yeah, V, BMP. Here we go. Oh, hold on. That one was, man. Alright, there you go. Alright, so here, this is, step it back, Private. This is a BMP 3. As you can see, large caliber or large millimeter main gun, and then it has an autocannon on the left side of the barrel, plus it has a machine gun. It's a little bit upgraded body and chassis from the other BMPs, so it's a little bit beefier, a little bit reworked. So this has a little bit of everything. So definitely watch out for this vehicle, the BMP3.
Just out of curiosity, is that a radar snare at the top, or is that just a light?
You got a light, then on the left is a searchlight, and then the purplish looking lens, that's going to be your fucking night vision slash thermal.
Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't have any radar capabilities. You know, the 3 tubes on either side, that's your countermeasures. Any other questions?
No, Sergeant.
Alright, this is just another BMP. This happens to have a large millimeter main gun. Just like the A variant. Got their fucking guided missile on top, guided rocket, but it just has a large caliber fucking gun. Don't think that they won't shoot at us. They will with a large caliber gun. It has options for HE rounds, so will fragment and hurt us. This is another BMP. Just happens to only have a machine gun for its main gun, but it is a mobile IDF platform, so it's got a mortar tube on the back, so we can drive up to a position, get our coordinates based off a radio. You know, spotters, you know, they're in this grid, blah, blah, blah. They can plot it, and they can pop off rounds. With the large caliber mortar, and most of the time you can hear the mortar's going off, so you can kind of get a direction of where it's at. And normally mortar pits are stationary, but this is not stationary. You can send out a fucking barrage, and after it sends off its last round, it'll fucking pick up and move to a different location. So it's kind of playing hide and go seek with us because, you know, being mobile, and IDF is definitely not our friend. We don't see this too often, but keep it in mind if you do see it. Alright. This is a fucking, what is this one? A T-80. So this is an MBT. This is usually reserved for our air assets, Warlord, Thunder, and or weapon squads to take this out. So if you're in a rifle squad and you're 200-300 meters away and you see this, don't try shooting at it. Just stay down, you know. Let my guys get there to engage it. Or if I can't get over there, hopefully your squad leader's smart enough to call that up to platoon and tell them, hey, we're fucking way too close to MBT for your liking, and we need, air support. Mark it on the map, or mark it on the Blue Force, Red Force, on the Android, and call it up. Now, if you happen to pop around a corner and for some reason they have this hotting in town and it's pinning you down, or it's within fucking 50 meters or so, if you can get a good shot on the backside or a down shot from like a second story onto the turret, take it with the AT4. Because it could really fuck your world up. It's one of those things, if you're that desperate, take the shot. Don't sit there letting your guys die. But if you can fucking stay put and it doesn't see you and it's not engaging you, don't fucking try to dance with it. Wait for somebody with a bigger gun to come say hello. So we deal with all the different models, T55, T70, T72, T80. I don't think we've seen a T90 yet, but yeah, they're nothing to play with. Any questions so far?
With the MBTs, just call them out as an MBT. Do we need to specify what type?
Nope. Fucking an MBT is an MBT. It has some have reactive armor, some doesn't. Some are up armored and all that good shit. It's not going to change what weapon system is used to hit it. In theory, a fucking Mars round or a Jav missile should be able to kill, this target. That's what it was designed for. So, I hear MBT, I don't care what it is. I'll fucking put a Mars round on it before I put a Jav. Now, if it's that close, definitely Mars, but if it's out fucking, 1,300 meters, I'll call out for the Jav to take a hit on it. If it's still alive, usually that shit's dead before I can get my guys on it. Usually. Any questions yet? Besides that?
No, Sergeant.
Alright, I'm just giving you the condensed version of all this. What you see, what you should do, and what you should shoot at it with. Little recap, BTR, you can hit it with your 40 mic HEDPs, the M72, and your AT4. Obviously, you want to use the lowest one first, save your bigger hardened hitting rounds for your BMP. So, you happen to be a fucking, AT gunner. Don't get trigger happy and shoot your fucking AT4 on a fucking BTR or BRDM. Alright, follow me. Alright, so this is troop transports. One on your right is going to be a fucking, what is that, a Euro on the right and a Gaz on the left? Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's canvas covered tops, which means it's not going to do shit to bullets. Just like any Vic in this, if you shoot the driver, the Vic stops, everybody dismounts. See a fucking UAZ or GAZ or Euro fucking destroy the cargo area. Light that up. And then go for the driver and the passenger. It's a lot easier to take them out while they're all fucking mounted in the back Then somebody hit the fucking driver. They dismount. Next thing you know, you got fucking 2 squads jumping out and fucking, looking like cockroaches when the fucking lights come on. Makes our life a lot easier. You're a grenadier, fuck, put a 40 Mike HE round on the back side of this. Take the tires out, kill half the people in the back. You're 2-4 non-gunner, fucking start going, full cyclic on the fucking occupants on the back. Pretty much, you're a rifleman or a team lead, you're just watching the fun go on. It's a waste of rounds to shoot. Now, obviously, it all had, Met TC, you're 249 and you're grenadier somewhere else watching something, don't just let the shit go by. Start shooting. If you don't see it as an adequate enough or adequate amount of firepower, rounds going into that Vic, start opening up. But you can tell when the heavy hitters start putting rounds in there. Then back off and let them finish up the job. Make sense?
Makes perfect sense, Sergeant.
Alright.
I'm guessing with any of them, if your boys lit it up, it wouldn't really need a rifle squad on it, would it?
No. The 240s will just fucking tear into it. But I would never. Well, since we have the new Mars, I would put a fucking HE round on one of those targets in a heartbeat if it's not being engaged. Damn right. An AT round? No. But a high explosive Mars round? Damn right. Obviously the circumstances would call for it. But, yeah, if it was fucking already empty and shot up, I wouldn't. No. Alright. So these are gun trucks. Gun trucks, by classification, are trucks or VICs, military-made VICs with mounted guns, or can accept mounting guns. So these here are, purposely made for the military, and they have attachments for mounted guns, or they have mounted guns on them. This is a gun truck. So if it's military made, it's a gun truck. This will be a gun truck. Never mind. That's not. Here we go. So that is technical. This is a tech. Yep. So that's a technical. This is a gun truck. Gun truck is military made. Technical is fucking homemade made bullshit. So as you can tell, it's got a fucking Modus on the back of that fucking truck. Pretty much guess where that fucking came from. They stole it off of fucking out of one of our Vics or a base and mounted it to back of a fucking pickup truck. Because we should have held it and do that. So, M2 Browning on the back of that. This is a fucking AGS-30. It is a fucking their version or Russian version of a GMG grenade machine gun. Shoots 30 millimeter rounds instead of our 40 millimeters, but still fucking hurt just as bad. And then you have the one behind me is their HMG. I think it's like
Dishka.
Yeah, things like 12.7 millimeter round. Uh, so yeah, this Vic here, you just shoot everybody. It's usually 3 guys in it, 2 guys minimum. Just go to town because you shoot the driver, the gunner isn't going to get out. He's just going to stay shooting. So just whack everybody. Now these are a bit quick, so watch how you're fucking shooting. You know, you're leading, you're looking down the sights, and you're fucking, you know, doing one of these numbers, and it's fucking going, and you're not, you know, you're tunnel vision. Next thing you know, you get a clear shot and you start shooting, and next thing you know, you're shooting an impossible friendly. So just watch your fucking, you know, how much you're turning, and just try to watch your peripherals if possible. All right. Move on to the air assets if you don't have any other questions on this.
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. All right, so this is a hip. Don't know the actual numerical of this, but doesn't really fucking matter. It is a hip. It has door guns. It's primarily a troop slash cargo helicopter. You see this? Chances are it's dropping off fucking reinforcements. Don't go wasting rounds shooting into the fucking tail rotors or the main rotor. If you're fucking grenadier, don't be stupid and try to hit it with 40 mics because what goes up must come down. And do not ever use a AT stick on a fucking helicopter in the air or on the ground. There's no need for it. You see this? Call it up. If you start seeing it hover, you know, go to a hover and start its landing process, call it out. You know, hey, I got a fucking hip. Looks like it's landing, you know, bearing, blah, 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 fucking range, whatever. Call it up. Let the squad leader know so he can call it up. You want to keep that in the back of your mind, too, because that's going down to low transport, unload troops. Chances are you're going to get hit from that, you know, area. So if it's kind of landing off on your rear, left, or right, or something like that, you know, don't get so focused on what's in front of you that you forget that this shit landed behind you, and you could have, you know, squad of 2 guys fucking crawl up your ass. So don't do anything crazy like try to shoot at it. It's just a fucking waste of ammunition. Now, if you see it go and drop guys off within range of, say, your fucking 249, you know, obviously start engaging the targets as they pop out. Grenadier, yeah, go for it. Fucking drop a couple 40 mics, hit the helicopter, it'll fucking throw shrapnel off and hit the guys too. So try to go for like a 2-in-1 with that. But when it's out of distance or it's in the air, just fucking leave it be, call it up, and yep. And like I said, it has door guns, so it's fucking not afraid to use them. Alright, so this is a hip also, but it just happens to have fucking rocket pods and machine gun pods under the fucking pylons, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that's carrying the fucking weapon system. It's got door gun. It is a troop slash cargo transport, but it also is fucking heavily armed, so You see this, stay down. Don't give it a reason to shoot at you. Shooting at it is a reason for it to shoot at you. Let it do its job, let it drop its guys off, and hopefully leave the AO. If it doesn't, we'll have one of our assets lock on, take it out. Worst case scenario, if we can't get an air asset in there in time and it's starting to do cast runs against us, we can lock on it with the Jav missile and shoot it down. But that's worst case scenarios. Any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
Excellent. Alright, so we don't have to fucking walk all the way over there. You're pretty in tune with what the fuck is what. It's the Hind, it's fucking pretty much a flying tank. Stay down and, cross your fingers, toes, your balls, whatever makes you feel comfortable, and just hope that our air assets can get to this in time.
Hope they get to it before it gets to you.
Yeah, pretty much. This and the newer attack helicopter, the fucking Alligator that the Russians use, that is not afraid to hang out in the AO and mess with us.
Is the Alligator the one with the chain gun on the front, similar to the Apache?
Since you ask, I will show you, but yes, it's the very ugly version of an Apache. At least I think so. I might just be biased, but I like the look and the sound of a fucking Hind. I think it's pretty sweet sounding, but this, if we can find it, here we go. Nope. Down here. Here we go. Is that it? Yeah. No. Well, that. Hold on. That is not the one I wanted. So you got it. That's K-52. That's the K-60. So yeah, it had to be. I thought it did have a fucking nose gun. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. But
That's fine. I'll go have a look through the editor at a later stage.
Yeah. So, yeah. We've seen that before in other operations, but this operation, I doubt we will see it just because they're not that fancy of a military. So, yeah. You see anything that resembles that type of attack aircraft, K-52 or a fucking Hind, just stay down and don't give it a reason to shoot at you. Alright, let's move on. Alright, so you know what this is, H-64 Apache longbow variant because of the radar dome on top. Pretty much all been converted to that, so all they had to do is just peek the radar dome up above cover or concealment, and they can get a pretty good picture of what's out there, instead of before the whole aircraft would have to pop up from behind cover to get a picture. This is call sign Warlord. Comes equipped with different configurations, rocket pods, Hellfires, and the chain gun in the front. So, pretty formidable weapon. Pretty sweet. I wish we could use it how it is really utilized, but we can't. fucking AI just stupid ridiculous with AT shots. So, yeah. So, this is Warlord. Alright. It's a little bird. Call sign Lancer. Lancer. I know Chief Snow likes to fly this bad girl. It is alright for cast runs. It's not the best. It doesn't have the heavy firepower. But still, you know, a barrage of rockets coming out the rocket pods and, you know, a nice long burst out of the fucking minigun will put some heads down. So, it also will escort us sometimes when we're on foot. I've seen the chief hovering probably like something crazy, like 20, 30 meters off the ground in a fucking valley watching us, you know, boots on the ground, fucking move from, you know, one RP to another. So it's cool having that kind of Overwatch that could be that close. So yeah, it's Lancer. Moving on.
Honestly, I don't really think you need to tell me about this one.
Yeah, so yeah, you know what the fuck it is. Thunderbolt 2. Got the GAU 8. Got multitude of fucking ordnance that it can utilize, you know, dumb bombs, laser guided bombs, GPS, fucking cluster bombs, you know.
And most
we
importantly, the Sniper X.
Yes, so yeah, we got a lot of our intel comes from this aircraft. While they're up high, they got a crazy, stupid, like, ridiculously good camera on here, so they spot a lot of shit, and they're putting a lot of Red 4 targets on the maps for us by this. So yeah, you know what the fuck it is. It is Call Sign Thunder. Before we move on, anything you need to ask before the next little portion?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright. Go over our airframes. Well, what we're gonna air assault into. Alright, so your left, my right, there is CH-47 Chinook. That's what we will use when we go into air assault in an operation or platoon training environment. That's it right there. 2 Chinooks and a Black Hawk is what we usually take. 2 Chinooks will take care of 4 squads, 2 squads per bird, and the Black Hawk will accommodate the fucking command element and Havoc 4. Havoc 4 is our indirect mortarman. So CH-47 Chinook, and you have over here the UH-60 Black Hawk. Black Hawk, like I said, will be command and 11 Charlies, but it also will do reinserts. So you happen to get shot, die, respawn. This is how you're going to get back into the fight, is get reinserted by a UH-60. We're going to go over the mounting and dismounting of these airframes. We're going to start over here with the UH-60. All right. So right now, what you see in front is a squad that is preparing to board this airframe. You have a team on one side, another team on the other side. Now, the reason why you have extra guy on the right side, our right, is because that's the medic. You can see that the squad leader is formed up on the right side of the bird. So obviously the medic being his battle buddy, he'll form up on that side of the bird. Now this airframe, when you get in, the side you get in is the side you get out of. Unlike the fucking Chinook, this matters. So, boarding up in the bird on a base will look something just like this. Sergeant's going to be there, or the platoon leader. Excuse me. Let me stop fumble fucking my words. The squad leader, as you can see, he's, out of file. He's going to ask permission to board the helicopter. He'll get permission from one of the warrant officers. He'll get permission to board. He'll call up to his team leads. Hey, Alpha Bravo, we're good to board. We're cleared to board. Just like all orders, they get echoed down, and not just orders, fucking everything. Whatever is being called down gets echoed all the way to the fucking last guy. The squad leader tell the team leads, all right, permission to board, load up. Team leads will call down to his guys, all right, we're fucking loading up. When you load in any friendly air asset or ground asset, you will call that you are in, not I'm in. Get used to saying your last name. It's a little weird, but, Margiotta's in, Smith's in, McCoy's in. Do it over the radio. Not all the time, but most of the time they're spooled up. So just make it habit. Call it up through the radio. Get in, you sit there, and just hang out for a little bit. Try not to talk too much once you get in the air, until you get in the air. Let the pilot do his radio shit while he's on ground. Now, the two door guns, those are to be taken up by your team leads. Obviously, the team leads that will be the first two to get in, their job is to take the door guns. Now, the door gun on our right, the left of the bird, is going to be called the crew chief door gun. That is the door gun you want to take if you're lining it up, or or better term, if you're following up on that side of the bird. On our right, it's left. And obviously, the other side, the other team lead, will just take the door gunner slot. It's important for that team lead to take the crew chief door gun slot is because that door gun slot kicks him off that side of the bird. If that team lead's not paying attention and he just happens to pick door gunner slot, when we go to land and dismount, he's going to get kicked off on that side of the bird. Now, it's not the end of the world, but just pay attention. Now, the SOP with the door gun slot position and door guns in a friendly, held position like this. The guns are going to be pointed forward and down to the ground. So if there's a misfire, you're going to shoot a bunch of dirt. So if you are a team lead and you're on a door gun inside a friendly held position, you're going to have the gun pointed forward and down to the ground. So just a quick recap. All the little incidentals. Get followed up on either side of the bird. Squad leader asks permission aboard. Pollock goes, squad leader permission aboard. He radios down to his team leads that we have permission aboard. Team leads radio down to his guys. Okay, we've fucking cleared the board. Board up. They start falling in. Everybody starts calling up on the radio to their team lead. Alpha, Margiotta's in. Koi's in. Once that team lead gets all the radio call-ups that his guys are in, he'll call up, actual, this is Alpha, Alpha's all in. Or, actual, this is Bravo, Bravo is all in. So that's it. Sit there, fucking looking pretty until we fucking land. And that will be the next port over. Any questions with the boarding?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. Alright. So this is what it looks like when we land. So we're in the air. Usually the pilot will call out, okay, we got 30 seconds. Usually, a click left before we fucking touch down. Right, 30 seconds. Pilot comes in, touches down. There should be no reason that the fucking squad leader or team leader needs to fucking call to get the fuck out. As soon as those wheels touch the ground, everybody should be bailing. Like I said, in this airframe, the side you get on is the side you're going to get kicked out on. It doesn't matter where you're at. The 4 guys prone on either side is the fire team members. The 2 guys that are in a kneel position on the right-hand side, that's your squad leader and his battle buddy, the medic. So right now, their job is security of the airframe while it's on the ground. Like I said, you don't have any particular spot that you need to be. You're gonna get out, find a fucking sector that needs to be covered, and fucking go prone. Me, personally, this is too close to the airframe. I would like to see everybody pushed out like another 5 meters from the airframe. Because this is a huge fucking target on the ground. And like any enemy, it's a huge prize to take down, our Vic or a fucking air asset. So they do happen to get a lucky shot off on it. If you're right underneath it like this, it could come crashing down on you. So when you, dismount this Vic, this airframe, fucking take another, 3 steps out away from the Vic before you go prone on the airframe. Just for our safety. Now let's say you got into the door gun slot, but you got into the wrong one. And let's say the team lead for this team got kicked out on that side. That's fine. I got a saying. Saying goes, if you fuck up, stay fucked up. Goes for a multitude of things. It goes for this. If you get kicked out on the wrong side of the bird, it's not the end of the world. You're not that far away from your guys. So just fucking get snuggled up into a spot here and pull security. when the airframe lifts and you get a movement order, you can reconsolidate with you guys. But the worst thing you can do is say, oh, fuck, I got out on the wrong side. Let me either come run around the front of the bird or let me run around the backside of the bird. Obviously, you know what could happen if you got around the backside of the bird. But more importantly, around the front side of the bird. The helicopter pilot is not, he doesn't want to be on the ground any longer than he has to. As soon as everybody gets out, he's fucking, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. He no longer has any kind of defensive capabilities. His door guns are fucking empty, so he needs to get the hell out of there. Well, that's about the time that fucking Jackass 1 figures out, oh shit, I'm on the wrong side, and he comes running around the front, and the helicopter pilot is fucking lifting. He don't lift straight up. He's fucking starting his forward momentum and lifting, and chances are he'll fucking pretty much run him over. So just stay on the side. If you fuck up, just stay fucked up. Make sense?
Yes, Sergeant.
Excellent. So this is the dismount. Fire team on either side. They're pulling security for the bird. Now, use common sense. Obviously, yeah, you want to be prone because you're in the field, but you can't really fucking cover much or put up any kind of defensive posture if you're laying in the grass and you can't see, a meter in front of you. If you got to, go prone. Go kneeling. Make sense?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yep, common sense. Not so common. So, yep, that's the dismount.
That's very true.
Yes. So dismount, stay in this position. The bird will fucking lift. It'll be gone out the AO. Stay like this until you get a movement order. Your squad leader, or at least I like to call down to my guys that are prepared for a movement order. So right there, that's in their head. Okay, we're not pinned, gonna picnic here. We're about to get up and start moving. So it keeps their ears open for, my next order is going to be a movement order. So I'm not just throwing it out there all of a sudden, hey, okay, we're moving this, this, and this. Already got their ears perked for my second order to come through, and that's going to be our movement order. I do that every time. Every time I'm getting a movement order from platoon, I'm fucking telling them right there, prepare for a movement order. I'll get the entire movement order from platoon, and then I'll let them know. I just won't throw it on them. All right. So you're going to stay in this defensive position, for the bird. It lifts. You're going to stay like this until you get a movement order. Now, let's say we came and we got dropped in a hot LZ. One, if you're a door gunner and you see tracers coming from fucking enemies and you know where they're at, fucking unload it. Vic's got 5,000 rounds per gun. So it's already bought and paid for. Fucking use it. But once you get fucking dropped on the ground and it's hot, use that common sense again. Get the fuck out of the field. First, identify what direction the fire's coming from, and then find hard cover after that. Being prone in the middle of the field does no good. All right. Any questions on this airframe before we move over to the Chinook?
None, Sergeant.
Excellent. All right. Let's move over to this big bastard here.
Stand by 1 second. I just want to point out what Sarmar just said about you guys have to stay right there in a certain cover, not cover. I'm sorry. When the bird takes off, Of course, you're gonna wait for your movement order, but you don't want to stay out there in the open. So if you find any concealment or cover, such as a tree, any foliage, or a bush, make sure you get towards that cover concealment. So you don't want to stay out in the open because LZ points. I'm sorry, landing zones always have what? It's always gonna be an open terrain. Am I correct?
Yes, Sergeant.
So would you want to stay in open terrain, out in the open?
Preferably not.
Okay, so make sure you get to cover, and wait for that movement order, and when you get it, so that you can be ready to move. Well, thank you, sir, Marja.
All right. I'll add on even further onto that. If cover is fucking 50 meters, 100 meters away, that's a waste of time to go for cover. You know, squad, sure. Training, yeah, why not? But if you're in a platoon movement, by the time you get to cover, you're gonna have to fucking possibly turn around and start moving in another direction. So you're pretty safe in a fucking platoon when everybody gets dropped off. Obviously, shit can change. They can surprise us and not fire until after we land. Yeah, then, you know, after the birds get out of there and they fucking send some troops in. Yeah, then find some fucking hard cover. But it's something you got to play by ear. There are times where you want to find cover. It's feasible. You know, it might be a smaller patch of area, you know, that has trees closer by than a larger field. So it's all Met CC. It's, you know, like I said, there's times where you can find cover, and there's other times where cover is just not practical. You know, I've had it happen to my guys multiple times. All right, go over there, and next thing you know, because they're trying to find high ground, weapon squad, and I got to tell them to turn around, and they got to run back another 50 meters to start our movement in platoon. So it's all comes to practice and training and just the feel of all that good stuff. All right, let's go over to the fucking Chinook here. All right. So Chinook carries 2+ squads, 20, like 4 people or something like that. The way you're gonna board in on this airframe, as you can see on my right, your left, that is an entire squad. The entire squad that is preparing to board this airframe. Just like the UH-60, you're going to sit there, wait for permission to board, call it down, send it down, from the squad leader down to the fucking lowest guy on the totem pole that we're fucking boarding. Now, with there being 2+ squads utilizing this airframe, chances are they might have one team lead from one squad on one gun and another team lead from another squad on another gun. It's all okay. Not gonna hurt anything. Now, you're gonna call that you're in. Margiotta's in, Smith's in, McCoy's in, and you're just gonna hang out until the bird lifts. Same rules apply. Door guns facing forward and down at the deck. You don't want to have any fucking NDs, because it's not going to be just one ND with a fucking minigun. You're just gonna get put into the airframe. You're just gonna click rod and back, and it's just gonna pop you somewheres in the cargo area of a helicopter. It's no big deal. Now, you have 2 seats. You got the ramp seats, the very last seats in the helicopter if you're looking at the rear of the bird. Those are ramp seats you got left and right. Those seats allow you to actually engage out the backside of the helicopter. You can pick up your rifle and aim out the back of the helicopter. It doesn't make sense to have a grenadier or a fucking rifleman or team lead in those seats. If this bird is going to be just strictly rifle squads, you should have your 2 ARs in the back of that. That makes sense. If you're riding in the bird with me, makes sense to have my 240s in those two positions. It's all about the amount of lead you can put down range, and frankly, a M4 is not capable of putting out what a 240 or 249 can put out. And shooting a 40 mic out the back of a helicopter is just not a smart thing to do. So, just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, if you're fucking riding with the first sergeant, he likes to take that back seat. Lead from the front. He wants to be the first boots on the ground, leading his guys, so keep that in mind. Alright, let's move on to the dismount section. Alright, so I'm gonna pick up where I left off with the two guys on the ramp seats. The helicopter comes down. Those are going to be the two first guys off the bird. Their job, obviously, if you're sitting in this ramp seat here, is to get out and do a button hook and pull security to the front. And obviously, if you're sitting in this ramp seat on that side of the helicopter, you're going to come out and do a button hook and pull security to the 12 o'clock of the bird. Now, everybody else that dismounts behind those two gentlemen are going to now fill out the rest of the circle. And you'll see all these guys here filling out the rest of the circle. Just keep in mind, what you see in front of you here right now is only a squad worth of guys pulling security. You're going to have 2 squad plus guys pulling security, so you're going to have to push out even further than what you see here to accommodate that spacing for everybody. Now, unlike the UH-60, where the UH-60, you can have everybody dismount at once with no problems. The CH-47 is a bit different. We got to take turns. The way this airframe is supposed to be emptied is from the front to the back. Excuse me. Correction. From the back to the front. The last 2 people to get off this airframe should be the door guns. The left and right door guns, those should be the last ones to get off. So you're going to start off with the 2 ramp seats. They're the first ones to get off. They'll button hook around, take security to the front of the helicopter. Like so. Next. The only way to make this work right is you got to be in first person. And you got to look. Obviously, depending on how you are sitting in the airframe, if you're sitting on this side, you're going to be in first person, looking left, watching the people disappear from the back to the front. And obviously, you're going to be free looking off to the right, watching the people disappear from the back to the front. Once the person next to you disappears, it's your time to go. You'll fucking dismount. Now, keep in mind that all computers and all internet are not created equally. So some people might be lagging or desyncing. So give them a good 2 count. If that person next to you is still not fucking dismounted, skip them. Don't want to hold up the entire, dismount behind you because of that one person. I don't know if I said this earlier, but just like getting in, when you're getting out, call that you're out. As you're running and diving, going prone to your spot, just call, Marjad is out. And team leads will call that up. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward with mounting and dismounting the airframe. Do it a few times and it'll be second nature. Keep in mind, the way you get in to an airframe is the way you get out. Not only like on the Black Hawk, what side you get in depicts what side you get off on, but if your gun is fucking slung on your back, when you get out, your shit's gonna be slung on your back. If you're at the low ready, you'll get out at the low ready. Get in with no fucking mag, get out with no mag, so keep that in mind. Pretty cut and dry. Any questions?
None from me, Sergeant.
Excellent. Alright, let's get on to the Vic portion. Actually, let's get over there and we'll take a quick 3-minute break. Alright, kneel down. You can stand back up when you get back. Alright, Sergeant Smith, do you hear, brother?
Here and strong.
Alright. Private Ringrose is all yours to go over Ground Vix and Convoy.
Cyberport, you there?
Yeah, he's still not back yet.
Okay, I was gonna delegate it to him. I was gonna do the balance to be Bago and do this portion right here. Fire was you there?
I am, sir.
Okay. Front and center. In front of me. Or beside me. Like a merry-go-round, right? Merry-go-round, right? No?
It's a bit like that,
Ringrose?
Sergeant.
Okay. Okay. This is gonna be the very basics, well, like everything we went over. Very basics. It's not gonna be a whole extensive thing we're gonna go over if you're expecting your squad leader to go over more things about combat procedures and about how to use your Vic and how to shoot the gun and how to be a driver gunner and stuff like that in actual combat zone, not a combat zone, but an actual training exercise where you actually get to drive and gun. But it's gonna be the basics. Now we have various vehicles. The ones you see right now are the very old ones. We don't use these anymore. These are all Cougars right here. The variants we use now are all RG-33s. We're on the classification RG-33s. Some of them are classified as something different, like the Crow. Well, the vehicle with the Crow mounted on top of it. Now that's from the Bay Cayman systems, and they call that a Bay Cayman, but it's all of them are classified under RG-33s. And they're all MRAPs, and you know what MRAPs are.
Mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles.
Yep, there you go. So that means that it protects what?
The troops inside.
Yep, protects troops inside. What does it protect anybody outside of the vehicle?
Say again, sorry, Sergeant?
Does it protect anybody outside the vehicle? If you're not inside the vehicle, does it protect you?
Oh, I suppose if you're on the opposite side of it, if you take incoming fire, it'll help protect.
So what I'm saying is, if I'm standing right on that right side of the vehicle, and I'm taking fire, let's say from that same direction, or let's say an RPG rocket hits the vehicle, would it protect me? Short answer
Probably.
is no. Answer I'm looking for is no, and I'm explaining it to you right now. Okay. You're 1 meter off the vehicle. You're following the vehicle on the road. Now, the bottom of the vehicle has a V-shaped hole. Designing or implementing in some ways of when an explosion or explosive below the vehicle, like a tank mine or IED, explodes at the bottom of the vehicle, it will direct all of the explosion away from the actual hole, preventing it to actually impacting the bottom of it and having all the shrapnel go inside of the vehicle and killing the troops inside. Which means, if you're 1 meter off the side of the vehicle, what happens then?
You're gonna
All
get
the
hit.
shit. Yep, there you go. All the shit just gets thrown right straight at you because it's a V-shaped. That's the reason why I don't want to be 1 meter off the vehicle. Same thing if a rocket hits the vehicle and you're off 1 meter of it. Those cages, but the variants that we use don't have any cages, but some of them do. Then actually cages to actual a wall. But if it hits one of the cages, it's designed to actually penetrate the shell. What I mean by penetrate the shell, it allows the shell to penetrate the cage so that the actual shell will break. And then the piece of nest in that rocket that actually designed to spin around and bounce everywhere, which is supposed to kill everybody, it's going to disperse right there outside the vehicle. So if you're off right on next to the vehicle and that rocket hits the side of the vehicle, you're going to get hit by the shrapnel and you'll go down from it as well. So what am I telling you? You want to make sure you're 5 meters or 8 meters at most, or at least 8 meters away from the vehicle. Because you don't want to have any of those scenarios happen to you to the point where you go down from outside the vehicle and then we have to go out of the vehicle just to go grab you or other case around, whatever it may be. So you got to be mindful of that. But let me just continue though. But that's all in the standards of in MRAP. Some of these vehicles are multi-role as well, which is designed for it to go over multiple terrains. But That, like I said, you relied on your squadron. Sometimes squadrons don't need to teach that, which is really doesn't need it. Okay. So you have your vehicle positions inside of the vehicle. So it's going to be actually first. Name me all the billets in a rifle squad. I'm sorry, in the fire team.
Team leader, automatic rifleman, grenadier rifleman.
All right, good. And who's the battle buddies in that? The default ones we told you no set.
Defaults would be team leader and auto rifleman, grenadier and rifleman.
Okay. All right. All right, remember that. Hold on to that thought. So, for the rifleman, your position is going to be driver. If you're a grenadier, your position is going to be a gunner. If you're a fire team leader, your position is going to be a vehicle commander. And if you're the automatic rifleman, your position is going to be the passenger. Any questions with those positions I said so far?
Negative, Sergeant.
Okay. All right. Now, in addition with the vehicle commander position, it rotates you around from the squad to fire team leader. When the whole squad's in the vehicle and the vehicle's in movement, the squad leader is basically in charge of the vehicle. He's the highest ranking member inside the vehicle with the squad. Even if a platoon HQ member is inside the vehicle or any type of level HQ member inside the vehicle, you're still the vehicle commander as a squad leader. But if they give you an order to move the vehicle somewhere, you got to listen to them. Overall, though, you're the person in charge of the vehicle. You're the one who knows how your men react and how they act like. And plus, you've been through experience of actually driving a vehicle or either leading a vehicle. So since your whole squad's in there, you're the ranking member. Now, in terms of dismounting, once everyone's dismounted and you're no longer in the convoy or whatever, and the whole squad's in the vehicle, then the team leader is now the vehicle commander. Now, this could change sometimes. Sometimes the squad leader will never be the vehicle commander in the whole day or the whole time. Sometimes squad leaders don't want to command the vehicle. They just leave it to your team leader. But squad leaders like me will command the vehicle until we get to a dismount point, and then we start moving as infantry, no longer moving with the convoy. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay. Well, overall, who's the vehicle commander by default?
The squad leader, Sergeant.
No, by default.
Oh, by default, the highest ranking member.
I just remember, but who that told you those positions, though? What are the positions I just told you right before, about 2 minutes ago?
Oh, the team leader, sorry, Sergeant.
Very good. Team leader, that's default position. But sometimes it may be the highest ranking member inside the vehicle. Okay. Now, tell me about teams again.
Team leader, auto rifleman, grenadier and rifleman.
Okay. Now, this time, use it with the vehicle positions. Who are the buddy teams now?
So, rifleman's driver, grenadier's gunner, team leader's vehicle commander, and auto rifleman's crew or passenger.
Okay, so that means what? Driver and gunner is a buddy team or not?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay. And then what's the last two?
The vehicle commander and the passenger.
The reason I'm asking you questions instead of me just telling you, because the best way for a person to remember is for them to be quizzed on it and then answering the question. So we always fail our quizzes but pass the test because we actually learn from experiences that we mess up on. Alright, so the buddy teams are driver and gunner, then vehicle commander and passenger. So those two separate buddy teams. Now the reason why we told you these buddy teams, that the fire team leader and the element rifleman is one buddy team and the rifleman and grenadier is another buddy team, because it all plays out in mounting and dismounting out of these motorized vehicles. Because in the mounting sequence, the first people to actually mount up into the vehicle is the driver and gunner, which is your grenadier and rifleman. The reason why we put a driver and gunner inside the vehicle, because the driver needs to make sure the engine's running at all times and is ready for us to mount up and get ready to get out of there. So if we're in a combat zone, the driver's already in there, engine's already warm, and if we're in a cold environment, the vehicle's already warm for us to get in and whatever else. And the gunner is already on top of the gunner's seat, ready to put down suppressive fire if we get engaged. So those are two primary roles in the vehicle that we need to have the first ones in the vehicle and the last ones off to ensure those safety reasons. Alright. And then, if the commander is the next person on. Then you have the automatic rifleman as the last person on, and he's the first one off as well. Now, do you know why the automatic rifleman is the last one on motorized vehicle?
Because he's got the best suppressive weapon to take over from the gunner when the gunner gets out.
Yeah, there you go. He has a cash-producing weapon. Put down more lead down range than any other weapon system. Well, I should say any other, but most weapon systems that we have in Rifle Squad, which is just our M4. Okay. Now, the reason why the team leader and automatic rifleman are paired together is because, of course, the automatic rifleman has the highest amount of firepower, so he's able to use his weapon system while dismounted, and the gunner is up that gunner seat. He could use his weapon system, which is the automatic firing weapon system. So now you got those two combined, right? Now the fireman is dismounted because he's able to see on the ground any tactical advantages that we can create for the vehicle. So he's able to walk around, clear out buildings, and know for sure from himself, okay, this compound's clear. All right, move the vehicle right here at this corner. Then he's able to get 360 degree aerial view. Let's just say aerial view, but 360 degree view of everything around the vehicle, and he knows where to go next to the vehicle instead of just being inside the vehicle and then only looking through the windows and say, okay, I can't see past this wall, so I know where next for us to go. He's not gonna be on top of the gunner seat when he gets shot at. Then the 2IC has to step up, and that's not a person who's not really used to leading every single time, especially convoy ops. We don't do convoy ops that much. So 2IC probably rarely have ever done a convoy up as a team leader. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, so I'm just explaining why these billets are in these certain positions. In the driver, he's able to hop out quickly enough, put a rocket down at let's say, a BTR. A M2 can penetrate a BTR, or a Mark 19. So the driver, with the rifleman being a driver, he's able to hop out without having to worry about our most best weapon systems that's updated to provide specifier and engage those targets. There's a reason why all these are played out in certain positions, which is why they come up together as a buddy team. Alright, let's continue. The mine sequence is once again the driver and gunner. Those are the first two guys on. Doesn't matter who goes on first, it's just the first two on. And then you have the vehicle commander next, and then the automatic rifleman who mounts up last. Alright. Now, in terms of providing security for the vehicle, you're a part of this small team, or I'm not going to say that. If you're one of these four guys, it doesn't matter. When you dismount out of the vehicle, you need to make sure that the automatic rifleman is first one off the vehicle and the last one on, like I said before. Because he's able to provide the most highest level of security. Remember, he has a cash-producing weapon. And you also want to make sure that when you're dismounted out of the vehicle, that the vehicle is always at the most top priority secured. What this means is that the vehicle overall has protection all around. So even if you park the vehicle in a compound, behind a compound wall, and it only protects, let's say, the front side and left side of the vehicle, you need to make sure that now you and your body buddy that dismounted, say you're the team leader, and automatic rifleman dismounted, you guys need to make sure that the not only just the right and rear side of the vehicle is protected, but everywhere around the vehicle is protected. Even though there's walls next to the vehicle, enemies just could come sneak around, put a charge on the wall, blow the wall up, and hope the vehicle gets blown up. And the vehicle has to get blown up, they may have a rocket ready. You want to make sure that the vehicle is always secured at all times. Now, you never want to leave the vehicle by itself. What I mean by itself, if you're going to do a full dismount and leave the vehicle by itself in a combat zone, what can happen with it?
The enemy can acquire it.
Mm-hmm. And have you ever seen firsthand what happens when an enemy takes a vehicle and drives down the street that you're on right now? And you think it's a friendly vehicle, and they start shooting at you, and you start yelling on the radio, blue on blue, and in about 5 minutes you finally realize that's the enemy inside that vehicle. Have you ever experienced that?
Yes, Sergeant.
Do you want to experience it again?
Not anytime soon,
No.
Sergeant.
Nope, not anytime soon. So you never want to leave the vehicle unsecured by itself outside of an enemy zone. I'm going to go over that soon. I'm going to go over to dismount basics. Like I said, told you before I begin, when I was explaining about in ramps and how can they protect you in terms of your inside and that outside of it. You want to make sure that you're 8 meters off the vehicle to avoid any explosions on or around the vehicle. as I explained earlier. And you don't want to cross the road when the whole convoy is in the herringbone. You want to stay on your side of the rail with the vehicle because of many reasons. Sometimes we do a short halt for a lot of things or a long halt for a lot of things in the herringbone style. Sometimes it's a resting point. So we're just there just to stop and rest for a quick second, regain our bearings, get reconnaissance out further down the road that we're going on, and get more eyes on the dismount point. Sometimes may during herringbone to readjust the order of the vehicles, which means, let's say we want to put our 50 cal up front because we realize that there's surveillance in the town. Let me say this. Let me say something different. There's surveillance out of a compound we're about to go assault. So let's put the M2 up front, so the Mark 19 that's changed the order of the vehicles. So if you cross through the road, you're slowing down the whole process for us to get back on the road and move in there. And you also might get yourself risked to get run over. Now that they get your ass out the road and take you back to the station to get yourself healed up. Now we're down. Fixed up. Now we're down one man. So a lot of things comes into play with that as well. Also, let's say we spotted a machine gun nest. They didn't see us yet, and we're glad about that. But then you decided to move your little happy ass down the road, going in zigzags, and you start getting light up. Now the enemy knows we're here. Not just you getting shot at, now the enemy knows that we're actually here. Now mortars will go out. Now they gotta scatter off. Now the whole platoon's disorganized for a quick second, because now we gotta regain our bearings. Now they see the armor pieces at us. I'm not ready for that. So a lot of things can happen. So never cross the road while you're in the herringbone. Stay on your side of the road. If you have to cross, you gotta make sure you got radio light up. Probably you get dismount on the wrong side for some reason or something like that. Okay, now soft dismount. In a soft dismount, whatever it's called, the AR and fire team is going to dismount. So who dismounts in a soft dismount?
AR and crew and vehicle commander.
Yes, I like that answer. Technically, it would be all of the cargo members or team members, whatever you want to call them, and the
Cargo,
AR
that's
and
what I
fire
was
team.
looking
That is actually correct because you have a squad in the vehicle, so that one fire team will dismount along with the AR and fire team leader, squad leader, and the medic. Yes, that's correct. But if let's say you in this scenario, you're just a team that's in charge of the vehicle, so it'll be the AR and fire team leader. Okay.
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay, so just think all this in perspective of you or the part of the fire team that's in charge of the Vic. All right. Now you always want to do a soft dismount if the vehicle stopped for more than just a few minutes, like those short halts that we were doing. You want to do a soft dismount. Next is a harder combat dismount. People who dismount will be the AR, fire team leader, rifleman. That's the vehicle commander, vehicle passenger, and then who's the other one? What's the other vehicle position that's dismounting now?
Driver, Sergeant.
Driver, there you go. Passenger, commander, and driver. Why is the gunner staying on in a harder combat dismount?
Because he's still got access to that suppressive weapon.
Yep, he has access to one of the most strongest weapon systems there are. Either it be the Mark 19 or the M2. Let's see what's next. Okay. With your hard combat dismount, it's going to be a long halt, and we told you to turn off the engine and to realize you're probably no benefit up there or higher up says, let's get you guys dismounted, we need more guys on the ground to provide security or whatever else, we'll have you dismount. Now, the only time you actually will dismount as a driver, well, if you get that order to do so, you need to make sure that the vehicle is in a good set position to provide overwatch for everybody else, but at the same time, it's covered. That way it doesn't get a direct blow from the engine block. You always want to make sure that that's never the case. All right, any questions in relation to that?
No, Sergeant.
And it's not always have to be covered. If you find some trees or concealment, then use that. Just want to make sure the vehicle's not exposed. And also, you as a driver, you need to make sure that you're within 5 meters or 8 meters of the vehicle. You don't want to run her off about 50 meters away. So when it's order for us to mount up or whatever else, or the vehicle starting to take fire, you need to be there right there at the moment to actually get in the vehicle and drive it away out of fire. Okay. Then lastly is full dismount. And you could assume who dismounts in their full dismount.
Everyone, Sergeant.
Everybody, there you go. 500 AR grenade rifle will all dismount in a full dismount, leaving everyone else on leading vehicle by itself. Now, on times you're going to do a full dismount, and remember I was discussing with you about not leaving a vehicle by itself, unoccupied, in a combat zone. I was saying that before?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't say it again. Okay, so, got all that information in your notes, or in your head if you remember wherever you remembered it from, and let's build on that. So, to reiterate, I said that enemy could reposition your vehicle, and then use it against you. And we'll be all confused, whatever else that may happen. Then, but the only time, so we don't want to leave our vehicle unmanned like that. The only time we actually will leave it unmanned is when it's already destroyed. So either enemies already destroyed it, is no longer effective, or we destroyed it. The only time it's going to be destroyed by us is if the ammo is depleted, the vehicle's no longer in a position to provide cover for everyone else and or for transportation. And when I mean by transportation, I mean as all the wheels are depleted, the air is out of the wheels, you got no more spare tires from any of the other vehicles, not just our vehicle, but spare tires from other vehicles we can scavenge from it, or vehicles on the field that we can take tires from, and or the fuel is out. Now, in terms of ammo depleted, quote unquote, is a poor and lame excuse. Everyone, even the two behind you, can vouch that having an ammo depleted vehicle and leaving it out by itself is a poor excuse. And here's the reason why. We discussed about the vehicle being MRAP, right? And we know all the perks about it. It keeps the guys inside the vehicle safe at all times, correct?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay. Let's say
Most of the time.
you got a wounded. Alright, Sergeant Margiotta just got shot by a sniper. A long ways south in that tree line, that's in that elevated tree line to our south, right? What can we use to be able to get there? Because this sniper has thermal capabilities, so he's able to see through that smoke and pop smoke. So what should we do? We have the vehicle with us, right? What should we do now? Get Sergeant Margiotta out of that middle of the road.
Use the vehicle to maneuver it to cover between the sniper and the sergeant.
There you go. There you go. Plus, you're more of a harder target to shoot at when you're in a vehicle because the sniper has to aim right at the top of your helmet. And sometimes, when that bullet hits top of your helmet, sometimes just ricochets, knock the helmet off your head. Well, if you don't have it strapped on. Or it could just hit the top of your helmet and nothing happens. You don't get shot or whatever else. You have no chance to hit that target much quicker. You give a Mark 19, you just suppress that hole. You just keep on shooting until Sergeant March got inside the vehicle. Now, when we move the vehicle to the front of him, or to, let's say if I'm down or whatever else, Sergeant McCoy is down, or whoever's down, now that vehicle is a meat shield, whatever you want to call it. It can stop any round that's hitting it as long as it's not 7.62 or higher. So the vehicle's up there for cover. Well, if it's sniper rounds, it might be able to penetrate that, but put it in front of the cover, then you pop smoke in front of the vehicle just in case, and then the medic, instead of him bandaging the wounded guy, then he'll put the wounded guy inside the vehicle, then the medic will jump inside the vehicle, and now guess what? You got a mobile casualty collection point that moves with the squad and keeps the squad moving. Does that make the whole squad efficient and effective? Yes, it does. I was able to explain to you what the term of efficiency means, but I'll explain that later on when I have time. Now you see the importance of the vehicle being able to be used even if the ammo is depleted. Correct? So it's still a good effective fighting force. Not effective fighting force, but still effective equipment that we have out in the field. Now I also want to point out that also with tires being depleted is also another lame excuse. Because I've been, not me personally with the vehicle, but I've seen squads. I used to be a team leader in 2-2. We were in a FTX cycle, and our sister squad, which was 2-1 back in the days, led by Lieutenant Myers. His vehicle was completely damaged. You could see the dirt all over the vehicle. All tires were broken except for one, but soon enough that tire got broken and all the tires were done. And they just kept moving that vehicle along. It was moving very slow, and we got annoyed, but it kept moving on. Now, of course, 2-2, vehicle was still alive and still running, but their vehicle was almost depleted. But they still kept the vehicle because, of course, it still had ammo. But they still kept it because they know about the valuability of it, or how valuable it is. It carries the troops. You don't have to walk. Hop in the vehicle, get yourself some rest, then hop back out, continue walking. So, vehicle being almost destroyed, vehicle having all the tires depleted, it's just a lame excuse. That vehicle can be used the whole entire trip till the end. And if you wait it out, you can get a replacement vehicle or get the vehicle repaired by an engineer platoon or squad that comes in to help us out as soon as we clear out the town or whatever else may be. So just think of that. All right, any questions with dismount basics?
No, Sergeant.
Okay. Alright, so just want to reiterate, never leave the vehicle by itself, alone, and unsecured in a combat zone. Only vehicles we leave unsecured in a combat zone is the unarmed Vic, because they can't take nothing out of it, except for the ammo out of it, but, because we can make it so realistic to the point where we can't carry all the ammunition out of there, and actually dictate what we put inside the vehicle. From that point, we just pretend, the Zeus operators or else just pretend that there's no ammo inside of the unarmed vehicles. And also, just remember, if you're going to ditch the vehicle, before you blow it up, make sure you take all the frags, the ammunition, smokes, whatever else you can take out of there and scavenge out there, all the extra rockets for the Maz or the Javelin. Take those out, and if there's 6 AT-4s, try to get everybody in your squad, take all of those rockets out, and then try to disperse with the platoon and talk with the platoon HQ to see to get those dispersed without all the squads. Because like I told you, those stuff are valuable inside those armored Vics, so before you blow it up, grab those so that you guys know we're about relying on a resupply. Because you usually don't get a resupply in a convoy op, because you have all your ammunition there. Always think. Alright, now move on to the introduction of basic convoy procedures. You're going to learn basically how to function a convoy, not actually being the driver and actually driving in it, but learning all of the literature in terms of actually knowing how to do your radio checks, what is short halt, a long halt, what to do in those certain scenarios, what are the call signs and conversations there are, everything in sorts, everything in that nature. Okay. Now, the call signs everybody uses is Vic. That's your call sign, Vic. And then the other call signs that we have are first Vic and last Vic. Now, your calling station will be your vehicle position. So, what your vehicle position is going to be is, let's say we got 10 vehicles lined up, right? If you're the first Vic, your vehicle number is what?
Vic 1, Sergeant.
Vic 1, there you go. That's your call station right there. The call sign is Vic. And your whole call station now is Vic 1 because it all depends on what number of the vehicle you are in that convoy. Okay. Now, convoy now, you know that I'm going to move on to convoy net. Convoy net is frequency 50. Write that down. 50.
Don't need to write it down.
Okay. Now, we use a long range because sometimes vehicles may get far apart. We may have space enough up to 100 meters per vehicle. So you may not be 50 meters apart, maybe might be 100 meters apart. This is many scenarios. Maybe we're flooring it at 100 kilometers an hour. So we want to make sure you have 100 meters spacing so that everyone else can be able to have time to stop suddenly if need be. So you're going to be on long range. You're going to open up long range, you're going to press Alt Papa. Write that down, Alt Papa. Alt P. Then you're going to hit the CLR button, clear. That's what you use to clear. Or you could just highlight it and backspace it. But make it more simpler, you're going to hit the CLR button to clear it out. Then you're going to type in with your number pad, unless you use the numbers on the keypad, which is above all your letters on the keypad, if you get what I mean. You enter down, you enter 50, and then to set the frequency in there, or enter the frequency, you can hit the FRQ button. It's no longer going to be ENT, it's going to be FREQ. Hit that button multiple times just in case, just to make sure that frequency gets set in. So what happens is that when you hit it once, it'll say invalid frequency or whatever else, but you hit it multiple times, then it'll know, okay, this is the right frequency. You just keep on hitting it about 2 or 3 times, and then you're done, close it off, then you do your radio check. Alright. Now you know what your constellation is. Let's say you're the first Vic. So your constellation will be Vehicle 1, or sorry, Vic 1. So do your radio check. So any station on this net, this is what? Who are you?
This is Vic 1 requesting radio check frequency
There
50.
you go. There you go. Any station on this net, this is Vic 1, radio check frequency 50 over. If someone reply, let's say I'm Vic 5. Vic 1, this is Vic 5, read your loud and clear frequency 50 over. And what do you say?
Vic 5, good copy, out.
There you go. Awesome. Or just say Vic 5, this is Vic 1. Also make sure that you say you are. Just so he can know that you heard what he said as well. Just saying, okay? Because if you say that, he may think that's probably Vic 6 saying that, and he does not know if Vic 1 heard what he said. You know what I'm saying? It's just a way of making sure that you both know that you both can hear each other. Alright, now, sometimes that's how our check will be done. Vehicles will tell each other that they hear each other good, and they'll just do the same to each other, and it goes down the whole line. Now, you're probably wondering who's the leader of the convoy. The leader of the convoy is the convoy commander. Usually he's assigned to the highest ranking personnel. The reason I say personnel because it's not usually the highest ranking officer. Task Force commander varies between either the CO, the XO, or the company first sergeant. Those three are usually the ones who will be the task force commanders. So I can't just say the highest ranking officer because a first sergeant is just a non-commissioned officer. Yep, he is not a commissioned officer. Unless he gets discharged as a first sergeant and they get a battle for promotion or whatever else may happen, or whatever else, but that's just that. Now let's continue. So the convoy commander may want to do a radio check to make sure that, to ensure that all the vehicles hear him and he can hear them as well. So the math, we do a radio check again. So he will say, all Vics, this is convoy commander, do a radio check with myself, over. Or I might refer to himself in third person because that's much more easier, that's what you usually would do. So then you have to actually radio into the convoy commander. So what would you say? Do a radio check with the convoy commander.
Sorry,
So you're
hang on a
convoy
second.
commander. Yep, take your time.
Sorry, I just swallowed something I shouldn't have. Convoy command, this is Vic 1, radio check, over.
On what frequency?
On frequency 50, sorry.
There you go. So a lot of people have a lot of frequencies they got to listen to. So they don't know what frequency it is that they're hearing noises from. Alright. Okay. And hopefully it wasn't something too big for you that you choked on something. Hopefully it wasn't too big because you don't want to
No,
kill you
this
just
is
yet.
Skittle, sorry.
Oh, okay. Sometimes people my color may have big ones. I'm just saying. Alright, where were we at? Oh yeah, so convoy commander does that radio check. So radio checks, that's all done. Now some quick housekeeping notes. Let's say your long range is not working. Sometimes it's hard to talk on a long range while driving. You press Control Cap Lock C and press W or D. W and A at the same time trying to make a turn. It does not work. All it does is it keeps you moving straight forward. Hitting cap locks, whiskey and alpha at the same time, which allows you to turn left and switch the radio. That's easier, right? Okay. So, what is Sergeant Smith saying right now? He is saying you could also use your short range radio to go on convoy net. Be mindful that if the space seems large, Plastic may not hear you. But that's just an alternative just in case that long range radio is not working, or you just can't do the long range radio because of all those technical difficulties due to you not being able to turn stuff like that. Because now, in those Cougars you see right behind you in front of you, if you're in a driver's seat, commander's seat, or a gunner's seat, you can access the long range radio. The new vehicles that we use now, only the driver can access the long range radio. Just be mindful of that, okay? If you're a team leader, you are controlling two nets, right? You're on team net, and what other net you're monitoring?
Your team nets. Your
Your
squad
team
and
net,
team
what
net.
else? There you go. Squad net, there you go. So you can't talk on Convoy net, right? You gotta delegate that with somebody else. Either the driver has to make himself digital channel for 5-0, so you can talk on the digital net for Convoy net, or delegate to somebody else who will be in the vehicle, maybe the gunner. You can go on that frequency. So I'm just helping you out and telling you this stuff beforehand, before you get out in the field and stuff like that, or before day 4, if you do a convoy op and do all that stuff. I don't know what I have planned on Thursday, but maybe something soon. Okay, move on to the next thing. Is actually talk on the radio after those radio checks. So now, if you're the first Vic, your call sign, sorry, conversation will now be first Vic, so Vic 1. Or lead Vic. If you're the last Vic, you're last Vic or rear Vic. Okay? But if you're doing a radio check and you're the first Vic, what are you going to say? Do you say first Vic or Vic 1?
For a radio check, did you say?
Yes,
so?
radio check. Yeah, for your radio check. Say Vic 1 or first Vic.
First Vic.
Try again. Not first Vic,
Vic
but
1,
what?
sorry.
Vic 1, there you go. The reason why is if I say first Vic, and then someone says second Vic, and then all of a sudden I hear last Vic, and I got sidetracked, I don't know how many vehicles are in the convoy. Because when you're inside the vehicle, all that you look through is through the windows. You can't use third-person advantage. You don't know how many vehicles are counted down. We always add vehicles or remove vehicles, and sometimes the Half commander has been told, but he forgets. We forget, but sometimes, officers forget more than we do. They get lost sometimes on the field. Am I right, Sergeant McCoy? Lieutenant Sheldon can get lost. He doesn't get lost, but sometimes officers do. So we want to make sure that we are able to remind them without them being embarrassed to ask. Because our job is not to embarrass them. So you say Vic 1, and that's the first Vic talking. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is Vic 10, radio check Vic 5-0. And doesn't hear no more Vics no more like that. Okay, we got 10 vehicles in the convoy. Now you know it's okay. It's gonna be a long convoy. Let's go ahead and expand the spacing. Or let's shorten the spacing or whatever else. Okay. Now this segues into routine call-ins. Routine call-ins are turns that you'll call out, speeds that you'll call out, and halts that you call out. In terms of this, if you're making a left turn, you're going to say, this is first Vic or leads Vic turning right or turning left. This is rear Vic or last Vic turning left. Now we're turning right. Say the two vehicles again. So you heard me say example for turning left. Now do an example for turning right.
First Vic turning right, and last Vic turning right.
There you go. All right. Sir Margiela, I'm pretty sure you touched on brevity, right? And short way to explain by brevity is that it shortens radio traffic. The new thing we got here is that we're not only shortening the traffic of one person, we're shortening the traffic for everybody else. So I'm explaining this a little more. So instead of shortening you explaining a whole sentence down to one word, at this point, only having the first Vic and lead Vic, the first Vic and rear Vic, hit their turns, it shortens down. It clears out the whole radio clutter of hearing 10 people saying right turn, right turn, right turn, right turn, right turn. He'll know when the convoy is split it up. He'll see, of course, from the commander's seat, if he is in the commander's seat. Or he'll see it from that telescope right there. Oh, it's not called a telescope, but look behind you. That's a command Vic right there. It's always command Vic. Sometimes we'll take an armored Vic, but when we take armored Vics, that's always command Vic. You always will see that. So he'll see when the vehicles get out of order. But when he hears the rear Vic took a right, but the first Vic took a left, he's gonna try to figure out where's the mess up, the hold up there. And he's gonna ask who took a right turn. And once he knows, he's gonna tell them he's gonna try to correct the fault there. But usually, we don't want to leave a vehicle behind, so we don't just have the convoy keep moving. We'll have if the vehicle took a right turn, everybody takes the right turn. Everyone follows the mistake. You never want to leave them by themselves. All right, but that's something more advanced that you learn from your squad later on. Hey, now, the more on with the routine call-ins, Convoy Commander will say, all right, Convoy is Oscar Mike, speed is 50 kph, with 50 meter spread, which means all the vehicles will make sure they're 50 meters apart. So you as the first Vic, you're going to say, Roger, first Vic is Oscar Mike, speed 50 kph, spread 50 meters. That's you confirming what he said so that he could tell you negative, that's not what we're doing with rails. And then everyone else can hear that traffic again. And then he also knows first Vic is Oscar Mike. So he doesn't have to sit there and think, are they moving or not? For 10 minutes until or not 10 minutes, for a whole minute until the vehicle in front of him has finally moved. Because usually we'll sit there, even the first Vic has already moved, you'll sit there until that vehicle in front of you moves. So just like in a traffic stop, right? Or a traffic light, right? Now the green light turns green, but you're still waiting to move, right? Yes, no, maybe so.
Oh, yes, I don't.
Okay. Trying to use some examples here. All right. Then when the rear Vic's finally moving, all you gotta say is rear Vic is Oscar Mike. You don't have to say speed or the distance. All right. And then Holtz, whenever we're at an ambush, 90% of the time we're never going to stop. Never stop at an ambush. So all you're doing is you're actually doing what the enemy wants you to do. You stop right in the ambush, right in front of the enemy's fire. So when you dismount, all you're doing is putting yourself right in the enemy's fire. All they have to do is shoot at the rear of the vehicle and wait for more guys to dismount. Versus if you keep on going through and let our air assets handle them. They'll send a bunch of bombs at them that they want to, or rockets or missiles. In terms of when we have to stop, if there is a armor piece in the middle of the road, and you see it about 400 meters away or whatever else, you'll say, first Vic herringboning left. You make that decision. The first Vic has to make the decision whether or not the vehicle is at a halt, along with the convoy commander. Convoy commander has a decision whether the convoy can halt. But if vehicle first Vic sees something like an ID or a enemy armor piece coming down the road, then he can make a decision either to go around, but he has to call up and say, our enemy armor piece, middle of the road, first Vic herringboning left. So you say herringboning left, everybody else herringbone. Okay. So first Vic calls out the halts, the speeds, the turns, and the rear Vic calls out the turns as well. For that, he's Oscar Mike, or he's halting wherever else as well, so we know the whole convoy is halted. Okay. Those are all routine call-ins. Next is combat call-ins. Combat call-ins is everything else. You spot an ID that first Vic was able to see, so you're in up that gunner seat in the second Vic, and then you saw an ID that the first Vic did not see, you can say, ID on the road, first Vic halt, and then the first Vic will halt. You don't get in trouble for spotting an ID and staying on the road and going over the convoy commander's orders. And the convoy commander might say, all right, ID on the road, go ahead and shoot it until it explodes, and then they'll shoot up. Or he'll tell you to do a wide berth around the ID or whatever else. Spot reports, if you if you spot any enemy troops, if you're in that driver's seat or in the field commander's seat inside those cougars that you see right behind you, those are only seats that can see troops in front of them. If you're in that rear seat where that window is open, you see that window that's open, that vehicle right there?
Yes, I do.
Alright. If you're in that seat, then you should be able to see troops at the rear as well. So, and the gunner as well. So only 4 people can actually call out enemy movement. Because you're not going to be using third person to your advantage. Now, if you were in the new VIX, the RG-33s, then all the windows, there's a whole bunch of windows everywhere. So you could call out a spot report as well along with everybody else in the vehicle. All right, you get what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
All right. All right, so the difference between routine calling and combat calling.
Say again, sorry, Sergeant.
Do you know the difference between the two? Routine and combat calling.
Combat being where
No, I
you're...
was asking if you know it. I was just saying, do you know it? Yes or no? It was just yes or no question. Yeah, I don't want you to recall it. Yeah, it's a lot of
Yes,
stuff I
Sergeant.
said. Okay, all right, good. So think of routine calling as a priority traffic. So when you listen to Convoy Net, First Vic, Rear Vic, and the Convoy Commander are only two talking on the Convoy Net. They're the only two. But if you spot an ID and you're in the third Vic, or you spot enemy contacts and you're in the third Vic, think as a combat call-in as break. Using that as priority traffic to break into that routine traffic. Let them know that I spotted an ID or I spotted enemy motorized infantry out yonder or whatever else. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. The routine call-in, just normal radio traffic. Not only lead Vic, rear Vic, and Convoy Commander has control of the net. But if you spot something and you're outside of those positions, then you use a combat call-in. You'll say spot enemy contacts or ID go to rails. Alright, next is sectors of fire. I want you to just face where you're facing, stay right there. And I'm gonna stand right here, okay? We're 2 Vics for convoy. We want to do sectors of fire. Basically establishing 360-degree perimeter or 360-degree fire superiority, okay? Where should I face?
Is it just the two of us in a convoy?
Mm-hmm.
Rear.
There you go, you passed that one. There is 4 of us. Alright, then let's not move on just yet. Alright, now you got it all set up. The first and rear Vic is always facing rear. Where does first and rear Vic always face towards? You just said it.
Front, forward, back, rear.
Yep. So the first Vic faces where? Front. Rear Vic faces towards your rear. Always happens that way. You're a 2 Vic convoy, that's what happens. Alright. Now, let's say we got more than 2 vehicles. The vehicles in the middle, your sectors are to the left or to the right. You're not watching the rear, you're not watching the front. You're watching to your immediate left or immediate right. So that's your 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock. The point I'm making here, no, not that point I'm making here, sorry. Now I'm going to segue to the next part. Second vehicle is always a person that dictates where everyone else is looking at. So if I'm a second vehicle and I look left, give you a pop quiz and see if you know this, where would the third vehicle look?
Opposite direction, right.
Right. Correct. Where does the fourth vehicle look?
Left.
And we're a 6th vehicle combo. Where does the 5th vehicle look?
Right.
Where does the 6th vehicle look?
Rear.
There you go. You get what I mean? How that second Vic always makes the dictation of where everyone else look at the whole convoy, because he's the only person that can actually pick his own sector. Everybody else got to follow the people in front of them. But he's not going to clutter the net and say, hey, second Vic, where are you looking at? I'm going to look right. Can you look left? And the people behind him got to change their direction. So, see where the person in front of you is looking at, and you look at the opposite direction the person in front of you is looking at. Don't shoot your sector, just do who's in front of you unless you're the second vehicle. Okay, moving on. Short halts and long halts. Short halts, I already explained what a short halt is. I actually explained what you do. You do a soft dismount short halt. But short halts are generally formed, like I told you before, in that soft dismount, if you're at a resting point. Or we're getting ready to transition from convoy movement to actual infantry maneuver. I guess I'll say infantry maneuver. Because we're no longer moving in a convoy, we're now maneuvering because now it's time for combat. Actual true combat, I should say. We're about to actually go into the field and fight. We're at a dismount point. We're going to transition to maneuver. Alright. So, when you get to dismount point, that's a short halt. when we're doing a halt and they say dismount real quick or stop dismount, then you're gonna short halt. Now, during a short halt, you want to make sure you leave the engine running because of course, it's only gonna be about 2 minutes. We're gonna get back inside, you might as well leave the engine running, burn some fuel for a few seconds, add more to the global warming. Unless you don't believe in that, I don't really care about your religion. All right, next is long halt. Long halts, you're going to leave the engine off. You turn the engine off. This happens if we're going to stay there for quite some time. We're going to get some reconnaissance down the road. We're going to wait for supplies to come in or whatever else. Waiting for Havoc 4, which is our more indirect fire infantrymen, to put some rounds out towards the enemy outpost or enemy infantry. We're going to source that stuff. That's what we're going to do. Now, these will be called to you. You don't actually have to think of what is this or we're stopping here because this has to be short halt. It's not all going to be quizzed to you when you're out in the battlefield. You will be informed whether or not it's going to be a short halt or a long halt, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, if it wasn't told to you, and if you sat there in that driver's seat for about 7-10 minutes, then, yeah, that's the long halt. You might want to turn off the engine off and ask him, hey, this might be a long halt. Hey, can I do a hard combat dismount and just stay by the vehicle? I think I'm no use just staying in the driver's seat or whatever else, and just ask him that. Any questions, short halt or long halt?
No, Sergeant.
Right. While you're at base, you want to make sure that turret is facing towards the air. Now, if you can recall, about 30 minutes ago, Sergeant Margiotta said that while you're at base and you're inside of the Black Hawk Chinook, the turret should be faced towards the ground, correct?
Yes, Sergeant.
Because if it faces towards the air, what happens? And you actually ND, what happens when those rounds go up to the air? You penetrate what?
The blades on the choppers.
Blades, yep. And if it misses the blades, who it might hit up in the sky?
Any other air assets?
I was thinking a bird, but yep, any other air assets up in the sky, it might penetrate, it might even kill a pilot. So, to prevent that, rather put our chances on a ricochet than an actual stray bullet. Now, you're probably wondering, now why would we put our turret to the air inside of a
Not really.
vehicle if we had to put it towards the ground inside of a air asset? Well, here's the reason why. Vics are all placed in a mortar pool. When you're in an air base, a mortar pool is nowhere near an airstrip. Not even 100 meters from the airstrip. It's about maybe 500, 600 meters away from the airstrip. That far away. So, far away from where the birds are landing, the birds actually land in an actual straight line towards the airstrip. So, there's no road actually going to hit around towards the actual bird, unless the bird actually decides to fly over the mortar pool for some reason, which is where all the infantry are at. Now, in deployments that we have right now, our mortar pools and spots we should be at are usually never at the airbase. As soon as we take territory, our cops, our command outposts, they're going to be moved somewhere else.
Combat.
Or going to be placed somewhere else far away from the airstrip. So there's no need to worry about any short rounds hitting a bird. What we're worried about is your weapon system face towards the ground and actually hitting somebody, killing somebody. These are high caliber rounds in those weapon systems. Those will actually might penetrate through your armor. Your vest and actually kill you. So you want to be careful of that. Any questions on that?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Now, here's something that you may or may not know. So,
Probably
quick
do.
little did you know fact that you should always keep with you at all times. Vehicles act just as infantry act. Vehicles move when they're ordered. They communicate their movements on a radio. Sometimes during one of our FTXs, the last FTX before this operation, for Task Force Charlie, we left the vehicles on the road, and we went to assault a compound. And before we breached the compound, we had to wait for our vehicles to make their movement up towards a hill so that they could support us with their fire on that compound. vehicles had to communicate with each other, their movement on how they were bound towards the compound. Now, this should as well, their movement and maneuver act just as our movement and maneuver act as. They can use formations, and just as I said before, they bound past each other and provide a base of fire for each other. Questions on that?
Negative, Sergeant.
Okay. And if you would like to see a video of Operation Blackadder, that's last year. Yeah, last year, about 3 or 4 months ago. Lieutenant Lewis used to be the old platoon leader of Havoc 1. He used 2 platoon leaders for... Lieutenant Garcia, I believe it's 2. No, 3. 3, he was the platoon leader, third, whatever. Platoon leader 3 times before Lieutenant Garcia. And it shows you how he maneuvered the vehicles and had them bound with the infantry towards through an open field towards another section of town. Towards the town. It wasn't through another section of town because the road was full of IEDs, and a field on the left of that road was full of IEDs. All right. Any questions in relation to convoy procedures and mounting and dismounting out of the vehicles?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Do you need a P?
Good, Sergeant.
Okay. Am I?
Standing by.
We don't take our chances here. Flag is wishy-washy. Works when it wants to. All right. Three. All right, all 3 of us here. All right, private ring rolls over here. Come on. Wait for the old goose. Not this one right next to the other one. There you go. Still boat. Want to go over Mount CQB, Sergeant McCoy?
Always. Hence why I grabbed a rifle. Alright. hang in there, Private.
Say again, sorry, Sergeant.
Hanging in there.
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, good shit. Alright, now we're talking about Mount CQB. So Mount stands for Military Operations in Urban Terrain. That is combat in and around cities, small, basically shit like this. You see around inside towns, villages, urban areas. This is the most dangerous shit that we do, hands down. So when we move through an urban environment, we use a stack, pretty much like this. This is the default stack, which starts with your rifleman. It's followed by your team leader for command and control. Third is your grenadier, who's covering the blind spots, and last is your automatic rifleman. This is not a set-in-stone deal, but this is how it normally is practiced. When you go through Mount, I highly recommend the First Sergeant's class. You'll notice how fluid these positions really are, particularly when you're moving through an urban environment. Alright, so we'll talk a little bit about breaching a compound and building right here. So just follow me over here, I'll show you the procedure. So if you see the stack here, you have your point man. This is all about sectors. His sector is there to there, a little off. He's watching the front. Team leader, he's watching a little off to the side. So he's watching the ground floor, usually, off the shoulder of the point man, and over to about 10 o'clock. The grenadier is taking 10 o'clock and all the way down here to maybe 8 o'clock. And he's usually watching second story windows, if there are any, or rooftops, stuff like that. So you always want to make sure someone is watching not only the ground, but any superstructure parts of a building or environment, even like a construction site with multiple floors. Definitely make sure that's being scanned. And of course, your AR overlapping with your grenadier and watching to the rear. So you come up across this compound right here with the danger area in front and a house inside to clear, and it's assumed that there's hostiles in it. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to get up here, point man's going to call halt, and the team leader is going to get set. They're going to hold security. What's going to happen now is you're going to pie or slice the pie is what it's called. So with your weapon up, you're going to slowly creep, giving yourself space from the wall so you can kind of see how I can cut the angle right here and keep my body almost completely concealed, but still get a little bit of a recon of this area. The key to it is you never want to fully expose your body. Like even like right here, that's too far. You don't want to go beyond that threshold of just peeking. You can use your ace, advanced movement to get a little bit more of an angle, right? So, sneaking around like that. Only my head is exposed. Very small target. So that's the idea with pieing, and you want to relay any information you see. So as I'm doing it, I'm going to say, okay, we got a house with an open window. Looks clear to the left. I can't see to the right. Door on the front right. The yard extends back to the rear with a wall on the right side. Come back. So that's the intel. You kind of have everyone now has a good idea of what that looks like. So at this point, the team leader is going to call for the style of breach. And that's going to be either a standard breach or just a breach and clear. That means you're just going to, rush in, no pre-thrown detonations of any kind. Next will be a lethal breach. That obviously means you're throwing a frag grenade or something that is a lethal munition before your breach. And lastly, you have a non-lethal breach, which would be some sort of concussive or stun device like a flashbang. So let's say in this case, the team leader calls for a standard breach because there is no known hostiles in this position. We're just clearing it out for security. Say we pied, so we're back here. We've reset the stack. The point man is going to call 1 set, and then it's going to go down the line 2 set, 3 set, and then the last person is going to call last man set. Just so, because no matter how big the stack is, you just want to know what the last man, like that they're set. So in this case, the AR will say last man set. At this point, the call for breach is given. The lead person, usually they want to go the direction that they cannot see. So in this case, I'm going to be button hooking over to the right. So he's going to say 1 breaching right. And come in, hook around, and then what's going to happen is the second guy is going to go in. He's going to continue this way, clear this corner, start turning over here, get his view here. And the rest of the team's just they're gonna file in after them, alternating the direction that they go. And as was said earlier, if you fuck this up with your entry direction, just stay wrong. So if you're wrong, stay wrong. Don't try and adjust a mistake, especially in a CQB environment. That's how you are gonna get fucking killed. End of story. So if you step inside here, this is the completed breach. You'll see that the last man ended up on the right here. So you see the second man made a. I mean, it's kind of different now, but so this is your second man, made it all the way into that corner. The third man right here, kind of like holding in the middle, watching this window, watching this door. Same thing on this side. You have the one guy facing down, and the guy's holding security. And then so first you want to clear any compound that's an exterior to a building. So like this little courtyard, we want to make sure this is clear before we try and breach the building, because we want to know that the outside is secure first. So what's going to happen is these guys are going to keep pushing along the walls. You never want to leave an outer surface in CQB unless you absolutely have to. So they're going to move up along the walls, not running through the middle of the area, sweep around to the back once they've secured it. They're going to return to the house, and now they can move in and reset the stack right here to breach the house. The process is exactly the same. The intel is going to be different. The pieing might be a little different. But at this point, you're going to have to do it faster, because if there is anyone in the house, they know that you're coming. And your best friend in CQB is violence of action and tempo. Any questions so far?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. I mean, that's pretty much it. You guys got anything else to add? least as much as we can go through an OSA.
Violence of action.
We can cover this shit for days, honestly.
Point out violence of action.
Yeah,
Always be aggressive.
Yep, I highly recommend the first sergeant's class. That shit is an intense 2.5 hours of CQB, and it's fucking righteous. A lot of really good information.
Can you go over Mount real quick? Just a flowing version.
Yep. All right. So
We could use that look at the fun right there.
the what's
The
up?
entry point means the entry point right here as a opening
Okay.
or an section room. Call it.
So let's say that this is just an alleyway. Let's pretend this house isn't here. So this is about movement through a mountain environment, and not necessarily breaching, but we want to move quickly because any stagnancy in an urban environment, like just the idea of it, there's so many danger areas, so many different places you can get engaged from. You want to keep moving. You need to stay fluid. That's why you're going to hear guys say, in the Army, we say stay hydrated. Doesn't mean to drink a lot of fucking water. It means to stay fluid. Keep moving. Keep moving. Don't stop. Just keep. We do what's called leapfrogging, right? So what's going to happen here, kind of in a similar sense, the point man is going to come up here. He's going to stop. He's going to set security, watching this way. So now he's covering any danger areas out here. The second guy is going to go ahead and cross. He's going to take up security to the front, right here. So now the front is always being covered. Third guy is going to cross. He's going to get set here, set up the other side of security. Fourth guy is going to cross, get behind the person who's now on point, and cover off to their left. And then they will just follow, and then the last person will cross, become the third man, right here, and then the last man was now the third man that was holding security here. Does that make sense, or is that just fucking really confusing?
That makes perfect sense, Sergeant.
Okay, good. I wish I had a little, football game chalkboard to draw this shit up on.
Just remember that if you're the last man, call it last man when you're running across, and then once you're across, you tell him, "Hey, I'm set, but you can come across." He's gonna run across it like that.
Yeah, Mount is all about communication, verbalizing your actions, verbalizing commands. That is pivotal. You should never ever stop talking. There should be no more than 2 to 3 seconds of silence when a team or a squad is doing Mount. It should always be, when you're dropping a sector, let people know you're dropping that sector so they can take that up. The idea is to cover as many danger areas as you can, in the most dangerous ones. At the same time, it's all about lines of sight and using them to your advantage.
Private Ring Rose, before we go, I have a question for you.
Yes?
Do you know what a sitting target does for a enemy infantry with a gun who's waiting to shoot at you?
A what, sorry, Sergeant?
Do you know what a sitting target does for an enemy infantry with a rifle that's aiming at him?
Apologies, Sergeant, I don't understand the question.
Yeah, let me rephrase it somewhere different. Okay. You're a sitting target, right? I aim my rifle at you. What are you? An easy target, right?
Correct.
Alright. If we're moving, what are you now?
If I'm
It's
still
also
static
easy.
or am I moving?
You're moving.
I'm a harder target to hit.
Hard target, right? Okay. What I'm saying here is if you're moving across intersections, you're going through fatal funnels like this right here, make sure you're not stagnant. Make sure you're always moving consistently fast. If you're going through across the intersection, make sure you run. Because a sitting target is much more of an easier target to shoot at, especially for snipers, versus you moving a lot. All the sniper could do is just try to suppress you. He can't really accurately engage you unless you run into the bullet. You never know where the bullet's at, but still run into it. So the reason I'm saying this for you is because this is part of situational awareness. You can be aware of your surroundings and being aware of what situation that's been thrown at you. If the combat zone is dangerous, you could be even in the middle of an open field and your squad tells you to do a short hold, but you're in the middle of the open, and there's enemy nearby. Tell them, hey, Sergeant, the sitting target is more of an easy target than a moving target. Can we get behind cover, or can we do something here? So let's remember that.
I
Remember that in mind as well.
also like to add that, we talk a lot about spacing when we do combat in the open. We have wide open AOs. In Mount, it's the opposite. You want to stay as close as you fucking can to the guy in front of you. The reason being, and I know it sounds dangerous, and it is, don't get me wrong, but We're less worried about sort of large explosives per se, as opposed to reaction to contact. So we say we breach a building, first guy gets hit because they're watching the door. Like, they know the choke points. They're not fucking stupid. You know, they know we're coming in. So first guy gets hit, he goes down. Second guy, if he's not right there, if he's not ready to go right behind him with his barrel up, ready to engage immediately, he's going to get taken out too. Because the guy now has, he's got 2 or 3 seconds to re-engage the second guy coming in the door, and it's going to take you out one at a time. So make sure that you're sticking with the guy in front of you. Shit needs to get done fast as fuck in a mountain environment. So make sure you're sticking right on the guy's ass that's right in front of you. That's all I got.
And
thank you, sir.
don't forget frags and flashbangs as well. Summer Koi goes down in the middle of that doorway. You can pull him away, throw a frag in that room before you breach it. I mean, re-breach it, I should say.
Oh, yeah. And
Right.
I guess the one key thing I absolutely forgot, sorry, sir, is don't, when you pie a door, don't get in a firefight in the door. Don't stop in that fatal funnel. That doorway is a fatal funnel. It's a choke point, where they can just funnel you in one at a time. You can only fit one person through that. So don't get in prolonged firefights in the door, and then once you breach, do not stop. Just, like, if you have to engage, just charge in, fucking show them your fucking war face.
Make yourself same target. You just stop right there and shoot at them. Alright, sorry, Mark, you got anything else you want to add with the Mount CQB portion?
Negative. I mean, I got a shitload I'd like to add, but
Yeah.
that's something
Yeah, right.
you'll learn in time once you get billeted. But
And Private Ring Rose, I 100% assure you that if you feel for any squad training, maybe one out of the 16 squads, well, actually not 16, I have 4 platoons, but one out of 12 squads may go over Mount and CQB in their squad training throughout this week. So, fill in for them, and you might be able to learn some more. Some of them just don't teach you, they just go through it. But you'll learn some more soon. 100% guarantee you that. If I don't, I will you a pizza. Alright, so that concludes the end of day 3. We had nothing else to teach you. And we're all hyped for Thanksgiving next week.
Like for day 4.
Day 4 on Thursday, I guess. I like having privates. I want to keep you under my belt, private rules. But sometimes they tell us we got to push you out through for some reason. I don't know why we got to graduate you, but they say we got to graduate you guys, so we got to do that. So day 4 will be on Thursday, of course. Any questions for us in terms of need to touch up your notes, anything you made for that, whatever else, let us know. Okay. If you need the easy buddy to quiz you on, we're not your guy, because we can't throw the questions that we will ask you. So that just makes the piece of point for us to ask the questions. You already know the questions, right? So ask anybody for help to quiz you on the questions, or any questions or stuff like that, or quizzing the material that you have in your paper, so that you can know for the oral quiz. But oral quiz is an open notebook test. Quiz. So you use your notes to answer the questions. But that's why I told you to make sure that you ask us any questions if you have to put in your notes and then you're missing. We'll see you on Thursday. Make sure you be on time. We'll make sure that we assemble a whole squad for you, and you, surely enough, will be team leading. If you want any experience or any questions or any video of people team leading, ask me. I'll gather a whole bunch of videos from other team leaders who stream or record videos, and I'll send them your way, okay?
Yes, Sergeant.
All right. Any questions for us?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. Well, then, you are dismissed. You enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening.
It's actually Wednesday for me, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy your Wednesday evening.
Actually, I'm about to go get lunch, but anyways.
Enjoy
Yeah,
your Wednesday
he's-
lunch. I mean, your Wednesday afternoon.
he's basically on another fucking planet.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's an honor to graduate someone off of Earth, someone that's from Earth. But actually, Liberty does is an honor graduating a second Australian, right? Isn't this our second or third one?
Fuck no. We've had quite a few come
What
through.
are you talking about?
And
Owen, we got
that's in New
Owens,
Zealand. There's a lot
Hartman,
more New Zealanders than
Adamson.
Australians, but yeah, Adamson's
he's-
one. Yeah.
There's
He's
at
got a
least
lot of-
3 I can think
He's got a
of.
lot of.
I think Sergeant Hardman
Friends,
said
yeah.
there's 5, I was the 6th.
Ah, there you go.
Oh yeah,
Sounds-
Sergeant Harmon wasn't also before I wasn't. Me and Margie was an instructor.
Oh, sorry. So you meant that you guys have taught? Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. See, I got horrible memory, but all I remember is the second one I can remember.
I'm pretty
was
sure
Adamson.
we
was
put Hardman through.
It? I'm sorry.
well, we
I don't,
did.
I don't do reports. All I do is just sit here and talk. Oh, you're dismissed. So you could have left while we were in the middle of talking. We would have disrespected.
Run, Ringrose, run! He'll keep
Yep.
talking. Holy shit!
I don't think these guys like us anymore.
It's all right. I must be spaghetti night in the chow hall.